Let me tell you about a story about this mini Phalaenopsis. It is my favorite Phalaenopsis, and at one point it was my favorite orchid. It was given to me because someone had bought it at Sam's Club, and they didn't want it anymore after it was finished blooming. And it has always been very successful for me. Have had it for like at least 5 years now, and every single year it would bloom. And you may also have seen some videos I've made of this particular white Phalaenopsis. It's the only white one I have, actually. And it is so prolific, it's so reliable, and was so healthy too. In fact, it was so healthy. You can see that it's got a large keiki, and I kept it there for a long time. I wanted to didn't want to divide it. I thought it would be healthier if it was just together as a larger plant, two plants together. So all these still pictures you're seeing are from April 2020. So now we're going to hop on over to February of 2021, about 8 months later. So let me tell you what happened. It got sick, and I think it either had scale or I think it was scale, and in addition, I think it had some infection in the roots, and it just started rotting all the roots away. And I noticed that it was producing so many keiki. I thought something is wrong. So I took the media apart and started taking a look at it, and realized, oh my goodness, all the roots were gone. When an orchid behaves like that, when it produces so many keikis and so many bloom buds, it was unusual. It seems so unusual. Why would it do all that unless it was stressed? And lo and behold, when I pull the plant up from the media, all the roots were gone. So let's take a look at the main part of the orchid. The original part is this piece that has all these multiple bloom spikes on it. The next piece that I'm about to show you is the original keiki that was on there prior to April 2020, and it has two bloom spikes, one here and one here, and I also looked at the roots on here. No roots. No, it had originally some roots, and then as this keiki, but then when I looked at it in February, there were no roots left. So something had rotted all the roots away. And here you go. You can see that it's pretty dried up at the bottom of the base. And you can see some of the leaf damage from scale. The health of the leaf, it's very deteriorated. As you can see, a lot of nutrients have been depleted from it. And there's a tiny little root that you can see here that is starting to develop, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit of wet moss on it to encourage the root to grow more, and also to encourage more roots to come out of the dry base area. I'm going to lay some more damp sphagnum moss on it. So let's cross our finger and hope that works for this keiki. And then I noticed too, there are more keikis developing, and that's just keiki number 1. So let's go and see keiki number 2, which is on the main stem. Let me see, I'm hoping that camera will pick up right here. There you go, right there. There's a little tiny keiki right there with the little root there, and that's keiki number 2. And actually, if you look closely where the bloom spike used to be, there's another tiny keiki right underneath there. Yep. Now I looked carefully. It is actually a keiki, not a root. So now so far, keiki number 1 is the one that was developed prior to April 2020, and this keiki number 2 right here is developed after April 22, sometime in the fall. And then this keiki number 3, which is right here, as you see, right on the base of the main stem, or the main portion of the phal, is keiki number 3, and it's recently developed that in there, and that's what led me to be suspicious, like something's going on. Okay, so that's keiki number 3, and was recently developed. And believe it or not, that's not the end of it. There's more. So now we're on to keiki number 4. Yes, 4 keikis so far. And this one is fairly developed. Now hold on, we're still not done. Here is keiki number 5. Yes, number 5. So as you can see, this orchid has a very strong will to survive, and is hopefully going to recover and develop new roots as I lay this damp moss over the base of the orchid to encourage root growth. It is a lovely orchid, so I hope it will go back to its original healthy state, and I've cleaned off all the scale with alcohol, and let's hope that works. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day.